Hello and welcome back to Man v Film. It's time for a Blu-ray update, the first of 2026 of a bunch of films I got just at the tail end of 2025. Now, Deaf Crocodile, as you know, is something that is always special to me. They often offer films that I've never heard of, never came across, and they're usually wonderfully strange, unusual editions. They've offered such great films as Trilogy, which was absolutely terrific. I Married a Strange Person, which I adored. Adele Has Not Had Supper Yet, which was so out there and weird. A Mysterious Castle in the Carpathians. These are films that I would never have come across if it wasn't for Deaf Crocodile, and I've got a bunch of movies here that I cannot wait to get into. There is only one that I've seen before, and I think we're going to start there. That is The Pied Piper and Jerry Barter Shorts. This is a phenomenal movie. It's stop motion, it's twisted, it's dark, it has that kind of early 80s horror feeling to it, kiddie horror. You know, things like Labyrinth or The Dark Crystal, where it's aimed towards kids, but it has these darker, more horrific moments. The use of the story and the puppetry is wonderful. It's a phenomenal film. I'm really looking forward to checking that out. And there is 6 shorts on this as well, which should be terrific. Do yourself a favour, at least check out the trailer for this one on YouTube, or go to the Deaf Crocodile page. There is trailers on there where you can check it out. This is a phenomenal release and one of their best. I can't wait to dive into it once more. Okay, next up is one that I find daunting, and I'm not too sure why. There's just something about this one. That is the 2551 Trilogy. Now, this is 3 films. It's The Kid, The Orgy of the Damned, and The End. Looking at the trailers for this, it looks wild. It looks very different, very lo-fi, twisted, something that I'm just unsure about, but I'm kind of compelled to watch. It's almost indescribable, and it's when you come to films like this, you're like, how am I going to even review this? How am I going to tackle this one? 3 films, a trilogy of movies that have just come out from 2021, 2023 and 2025, and yet haven't heard a single thing about it. I'm so curious, but I'm so worried by how this is going to be. It's a really interesting place to be as like a film fan. Next up is a Hungarian film from 1942, Sirius. Now, looking into this one, I was just like, it just sounds terrific. It's like a mix between Somewhere in Time and Back to the Future is how they paint it. From the 40s, a time travel film, romantic in nature, which that mix itself just demands that you sit up and pay attention. Let's just run over the synopsis and tell me this doesn't sound great. A brash Hungarian playboy travels back 200 years with a mad scientist to the mid-18th century world of wigs and pompadours, where he falls in love with a penniless opera singer and makes enemies of all the aristocratic fools he encounters, including his own great-grandfather. But can he make it back to his present dawn with his new love, or will he lose her forever? Like that, it sounds wonderful. It sounds so creative and something really interesting from Hungary, from a time period where this seems like a really unique storyline. Yes, can't wait to check this one out. Next up, we have Treasures of Soviet Animation Volume 2. I really enjoyed the first one. Those were all kind of space adventures of sort. These seem a little bit different here. We have Snow Queen, which is an adaptation of the Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale, which I think most of us are familiar with. Then there is The Scarlet Flower, which sounds a hell of a lot like a Beauty and the Beast kind of story. It's a quick one, 42 minutes. And then there is The Key, which looks to be a parable about the differences between magic and good old-fashioned hard work. Now, these are all kind of fantasy-laden ones. I really enjoyed the first set. There was a movie on there that I loved, the one that I just merely liked. Another one was really strong as well. I like the fact that they're having like 3 movies on the one set. I'm looking forward to get into it to see what the animation is like. These are all by Atamanovs. Again, somebody I haven't heard of, but I like when you get a little group of films, you get to meet the filmmaker and see if there's reoccurring themes or styles within his work. And then I have one last title here. So the final one here is Alraune and the Student of Prague. 2 silent films. Now, anybody who knows this channel knows that I really do quite like silent films. I'm still delving into the huge backlog that's there that I haven't seen, but these sound really interesting. Alraune, it has Bridget Helm, who starred in Metropolis, and she stars as the unholy offspring of a genetics experiment conducted by her scientist father, who implants the semen of a hanged man in the womb of a prostitute. As an adult, the offspring drives men into suicide and madness. This is an erotic science fiction horror. Sold. Absolutely 100%. That just sounds crazy in all the right ways. And then we have The Student of Prague. This stars Konrad Veidt from The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, who is a student who sells his soul to the devil, but didn't bargain on meeting his own evil doppelganger, who literally steps out of a mirror and starts to take over his life. These are 2 films that I am super interested in, because I really want to see how these come across. They don't sound like your typical silent films. They sound like they're really tackling kind of horror-centric traits and stories, and I think that's going to be something a little bit different. So, I haven't covered a Deaf Crocodile film in a little while. I've got an absolute plethora of weird, unusual, and unique type films to check out. I would love to know if you have seen any of these, if you loved them, hated them, fell in the middle, whatever. Is there anything that I should sit up and take note of? Anything that you can tell me about any of these films? Please do drop me a comment in the comment box below. Let me know what to prioritise. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff in the description box below, or links to Patreon, membership program, and manvfilm.com, always in which you can support. Thanks for watching. See you next time.